What if the most terrifying destroyer in human history was actually the architect of the modern globalized world? Today, history remembers him as a bloodthirsty monster, a ruthless barbarian who slaughtered over 40 million people, wiped entire empires off the map, and left mountains of human skulls in his wake. His name was Temujin, but the world knows him by a title that still sends shivers down the spine of humanity: Genghis Khan. But beneath the brutal violence and the ash of burnt cities lies a terrifying, brilliant military mastermind who manipulated the geopolitical matrix of the 13th century like a grand chessboard. He rose from absolute poverty, starvation, and tribal betrayal to forge the largest contiguous empire to ever exist on planet Earth. How did a boy who was hunted by his own clan grow up to conquer the known world? If you are ready to break through the historical matrix and uncover the dark truth behind the Mongol apocalypse, hit the like button, subscribe, and let's dive into the blood-stained steps. To understand the monster, we must first understand the broken boy. Long before he was crowned as the universal ruler, he was just Temujin, born into the harsh, freezing steppes of Mongolia. When he was only 9 years old, rival nomads poisoned his father. In an instant, his family was abandoned by their own clan, left to freeze and starve on the brutal plains. Temujin learned the ultimate law of survival early. In this world, mercy is a fatal weakness. He survived by hunting rats, fighting off wolves, and even killing his own half-brother over a dispute about a single fish. As a young man, his new bride was kidnapped by a rival tribe, forcing him to assemble a small army to rescue her. It was during these dark, chaotic years of tribal warfare that Temujin realized the nomadic tribes of Mongolia were trapped in an endless, meaningless cycle of blood feuds. He decided to shatter the system. With unmatched political manipulation, psychological warfare, and brutal military victories, he systematically crushed every single rival tribe, united the warring nomadic factions under one iron law, and in the year 1206, he was declared Genghis Khan. But unifying Mongolia was only the first step of the master program. Genghis Khan looked beyond the steppes and saw the wealthy, advanced civilizations of China and the Middle East. To conquer them, he revolutionized warfare. The Mongol army became a terrifying, high-speed war machine. Every single Mongol warrior was a master horse archer, capable of shooting deadly arrows with absolute precision while riding at full gallop. They moved faster than any army in history, appearing out of nowhere like a sudden natural disaster. But Genghis Khan's greatest weapon wasn't his arrows. It was absolute psychological terror. He understood that breaking the enemy's mind was far more efficient than fighting their army. Before his soldiers arrived at a city, he would send a simple ultimatum: surrender completely and pay tribute, or face total annihilation. If a city resisted even for a single day, the Mongols would slaughter every man, woman, child, and animal inside. They would stack the severed heads into giant pyramids outside the gates to serve as a horrific warning to the next city. Fear traveled faster than the Mongol horses. Entire nations surrendered without firing a single arrow, simply because the psychological weight of Genghis Khan's wrath was too terrifying to face. The true peak of his geopolitical vengeance came when he turned his eyes west toward the wealthy Khwarezmian Empire, located in modern-day Iran and Central Asia. Genghis Khan did not initially want war. He sent a peaceful caravan of hundreds of merchants to open trade routes. But the arrogant governor of a border city seized the caravan and executed the Mongol diplomats. This was a catastrophic mistake. Genghis Khan's wrath was awakened, and he unleashed the full fury of the Mongol horde. He divided his armies into multiple fast-moving columns, bypassing the enemy's massive defensive lines and attacking from directions they thought were geographically impossible. City after city fell into ash. The beautiful metropolis of Samarkand was destroyed. Bukhara was burned to the ground. Millions of people were slaughtered in a matter of weeks. The governor who executed the Mongol diplomats was captured alive. Legend says Genghis Khan poured molten silver into his eyes and ears as a poetic punishment for his greed. The Khwarezmian Empire was completely erased from human history, yet beneath this terrifying tide of blood, Genghis Khan was a brilliant administrator who created a remarkably progressive socio-political matrix. He created the Yassa, an ironclad legal code that banned the kidnapping of women, outlawed the theft of animals, and treated every citizen equally, regardless of their tribal background. He established absolute religious freedom across his empire, allowing Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, and Taoists to live and pray in total peace at a time when Europe was tearing itself apart in bloody holy wars. He built the world's first international postal and intelligence system, known as the YAM, which allowed messengers to ride thousands of miles across Asia in a matter of days using a network of relay stations. For the first time in human history, a traveler could walk from Europe to China under the absolute protection of the Mongol passport without fearing bandits. This era, known as the Pax Mongolica, connected East and West, opening trade routes that allowed technology, ideas, and culture to explode across the globe. By the time Genghis Khan died in 1227, his empire stretched from the Pacific Ocean to the Caspian Sea. But even in death, his life remains guarded by the ultimate historical mystery. He ordered that his death must be kept an absolute secret. According to legend, his loyal soldiers carried his body back to the sacred mountains of Mongolia. To ensure that his resting place would never be found, the funeral escort slaughtered every single person they met on their journey. After burying the great Khan deep underground, 1,000 horsemen rode over the grave repeatedly to flatten the earth, and a river was diverted over the site to erase any remaining trace. To this day, despite modern satellites, radar technology, and countless archaeological expeditions, the tomb of Genghis Khan has never been found. He vanished into the very earth he conquered. So, what is the ultimate legacy of Temujin? Is he just history's most devastating apocalypse, a force of pure chaos and destruction? Or was he a necessary evolutionary force that shattered the isolated, decaying kingdoms of the old world to build the foundations of our modern, interconnected reality? Science has revealed another shocking truth. Genghis Khan's genetic legacy is so massive that modern DNA studies estimate roughly 1 in every 200 men alive today on planet Earth are his direct descendants. He did not just reshape the maps, the laws, or the borders of the world. He literally reshaped the genetic code of humanity itself. Prove you are human. Are you a real human history enthusiast who watched this dark saga till the very end? Or are you just a dead bot scrolling through the internet matrix? Prove your existence right now. Leave a comment below with the word Khan, hit that like button, and subscribe to help us break the algorithm for the next chapter. Thank you for watching Real Human. Stay free.